Alrighty, we are going to send these 300 blackout by PSA, well AAC ammo, but most of you guys know Palmetto is responsible for this stuff. I've got the black tip Sabre there, 110 grain, and we've got just the regular FMJ. They are the Supersonics. 2150 advertised there for those, 2325 advertised for those. I'm fighting the wind today. I hope you can hear me okay. So, you know, there's their FMJ. And there's this little ballistic tip, black tips. So I'm gonna send them in the block, see what they do. I was trying to see if there's any stats on the box now. Well, duh, it was already set on the velocity on the front there, didn't it? So I guess we already covered that. Shooting into Nox 10% ballistic gelatin. I got 2 blocks. This is gonna be our catch block. So I'll keep all this crap to the back here. Where's our BB? Calibration is coming in maximum allowable. I got lucky on that one. 3.75 inches pretty much on the dot there. So we are within spec, just on the very back end of it. Got the other one in here. We'll have 2 lined up. I only have 3 of each of these. So I will send 2 of each over the chrono. Hopefully we'll get reads on them. And the last one, I'll be a good shot. I'm going to stick my target in the ground over here and practice first, because yes, it's close range, but as a lot of you know, if you shoot close range, your impact's going to be a lot lower usually than what you think, because it's too close. So anyways, I'll make sure to get good shots on those 2 over the chrono of each. Let me get set up and we'll get started. All right, first up I got the 2 125 grain, and then on the bottom I got the 2 110 black tips. And I'll read these out to you guys because I know you probably cannot see it with the glare. $22.54. 2300 even, and now these will be the what should be faster black tips. $24.10. $23.97. So that's good. Both those actually came in over advertised velocity, and that is just a 16-inch barrel. I'll put a link in the description. That's a Bear Creek Bear Claw with the stainless fluted there. Put a link in the description if you want to check out the original review video on that. No, I did not use this ammo in that review video, although the rifle still shot really well. But if you want to see this ammunition in this video reviewed through the same rifle, I'll put a link in the description to that video as well. This stuff also shoots really well out of this rifle. Alright, first up we'll hit it on the left side here with that 125 grain FMJ, and then on the right with the 110 black tip. And obviously this is close range. We're on the pistol bay. You know, I'll be about 7 yards back. At a later date, you know, I do plan on testing rifle cartridges at longer ranges, but that'll be later on. We're just kind of checking this as kind of like a home defense thing, because I know some people load up with the FMJ. I'm not an advocate of that. Personally, I keep those black tips loaded up in it, or some hollow points. So just kind of checking this as like a home defense, self-defense type scenario at 7 yards. That's surprising. I did not expect the FMJ to throw that block like that, and I'm learning a lesson here. Believe it or not, I had a 22 do this. Didn't even hit the table. And yeah, the force that's expending there, I'm not going to have my table for much longer. I'm going to have to get sheets of plywood to put under it from now on, and hopefully that'll... I guess I'll be ordering another table, huh? So... that is, holy crap, guys. That had to have tumbled. And, okay, this is the entry. Let me get this situated here. All right. So this freaking thing. there's the entry. She absolutely tumbled. That is an absolutely massive wound cavity. That sucker's like 5 inches across. But see how it's like not a whole lot of damage, not a whole lot of damage, not a whole. Now if it never tumbled, that's all you would get all the way through, and it would zip right out the back. Only it would progressively get less and less than this as your velocity slowed down. So you'd have to shoot like 10 shots of this stuff into a giant block and see if they all tumbled or not. If they all tumble, that is a ridiculous amount of damage. I'll get some measurements for you, so stay tight for that. But if it doesn't tumble, this is all you're getting, maximum, straight out the back, little pencil line. But it tumbled right here. So we got this massive freaking wound cavity, absolutely insane. We did not capture it. It went down. It shot through the bottom of the table after 20 inches. I'll show you here in a second. There's from the side, and that's way wider. It even split clear out the side here. That's way wider than it looks. I mean, you guys saw it from up there, but it's just absolutely massive. So a lot of people don't know this. If your bullet tumbles, you get basically the same effect, if not more. Depends on how long the barrel bullet is. Those must be pretty decently long bullets there, 30 cal. You'll get hollow point damage, if not more, and I gotta say that looks like way more than hollow point damage if the bullet tumbles or yawls. So that's exactly what that sucker did. She came in here still doing a ton of damage, finally settled down, shot through my freaking table. I don't see an immediate impact, so I don't know if it impacted back there somewhere. I would look for quite a while if I had more time. I'm trying to do another video after this, and as you can see, like, it's starting to get dark. The sun is setting on me. So that's what we got from the FMJ. Now, like I said, you'd have to shoot. Now, if it did that every time, that would be pretty freaking amazing. And that's also at that velocity up close, you know, 50 yards down, 100 yards down. It might not do that. Or this might be a one-off, and the next 9 might just be little pencil lines through it. But that's the result we got there. So, and that's why it threw that block like crazy. It just dumped almost all of its freaking energy right there. So it threw the thing, and I'm lucky it's still on the table. So now we'll come in this side and do that 110 grain with the ballistic tip, the black tip Sabre there. And that one is definitely, if it performs as it's supposed to, it's definitely going to dump all of its energy immediately. You know, definitely in the future, I'll probably do stuff like that for these defense cartridges that are popular. You know, shoot a bunch of FMJs into one big block and see what happens across the board. I had a lot of different results on that previous subsonic video I mentioned. I'll link that one in the description if you want to see it. They're Winchester subsonic, like 2 or 220 grain, something like that, with an open tip. And I got several shots in the block because that was the only round we were doing that day, and I think each one gave me a different result. So eventually in the future, I'll put a whole bunch in a big block of all kinds of different stuff and different calibers. But for now, I am doing what I can with what I can afford. So let's get some measurements for you guys real quick before we do the black tip. So, you know, it's going to be about, there's 21, 22, 3, these are about 24 inches overall. They're about 12-inch blocks. So right after the 4-inch mark, about 4.5 is where you start getting all that massive damage, and it just absolutely carried it till the 16-inch mark. So 4 to 16, that's a good foot, is just absolute havoc again, because that sucker yawed sideways and was just dragging through it. So let's send those black tips in. Well, black tip, I should say. I got one, just like I did with the FMJ here. And even if I had multiple, my blocks are nowhere big enough to test multiple rounds of that stuff. Like I said, that's something you just have to stay tuned for. Be coming up in the future. All right, here we go with the black tip Sabre. I think we got real lucky that one didn't fall in the dirt either. I'll start pushing them back some, but you know, eventually it's going to throw them off the table anyways. I don't know if we got a capture on this, or it might have just disintegrated. You know, there's a piece, there's some pieces, there's pieces all throughout. So now you can see this, you know, massive immediate energy dump. I think that would be much better, and you don't have to worry about, you know, over penetration. There's the entry. You just see an immediate massive difference. It busted my table even more. There's just fragments all throughout. I was expecting some sort of base or something, but you can see it curved there. And yep, right there's the exit. Shot out the side, and I actually came in slightly at an angle inward trying to keep it from exiting, and it decided it wanted to curve to the right anyways and shoot out the side of the block. So no doubt there was some sort of base or slug left. And these, man, these blocks are just, I test handgun calibers in these all the time, but yeah, I guess these are just too small to be testing rifle rounds. I mean, duh, right? But like I said, doing what I can with what I got. So I guess I'll have to hold off on the rifle calibers unless they're subsonic, until I can get a bigger mold and more gel and all that. But I am highly impressed with that. I wish I had the capture for you guys. I'll look real quick, and also that it went straight so we could have seen where it would have stopped. I'm sure it wouldn't have went much further. You can see it's just massive, 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 and then we got skinny lines, so it was about done right there. So it probably just would have went a few more inches. So but that's what we got from that one, unfortunately, with no capture. There's from the side, absolutely blew out the side here. It just mangled it, and it's leaving all kinds of sharp shrapnel in here. Crazy. You guys aren't going to believe this. I just happened to see this. I think that's the first one. That's exactly what that is. Hey, maybe we'll get lucky and find that Sabre, but what the heck? Oh, why is this hollow? What is this? Interesting. So that is the FMJ, and this sucker is hollow. That is very interesting. Sorry, never seen anything like that. So absolutely hollow. So when it came in and tumbled at some point, it just chucked all the lead out. So, or it didn't happen till here. I don't know. This made it through, and just no energy went doink doink on the ground. You know, the table's in the same spot. Unless it, you know, ricocheted back with some force. I don't know. But that feels so light too. I'm having a hard time believing it's copper because it's so light. It's not heavy like a metal. I don't know if it's mixed with plastic, or I mean it straight up feels like plastic. So I don't know if it's like a oh, what do they call it, a freaking hybrid mix, whatever. Anyway, it's extremely light, so I think that if it is copper and not just painted plastic, it's mixed with something that's lighter. So interesting. And yep, let's see if I can find anything else real quick before I got to get to the other video. So I could not find anything from that black Sabre, but right about there I did find the rest of this one. So there's the lead core to that, and we just had this little copper cone or whatever over it. So when this tumbled, the drag probably sucked that off, and then the lead piece, well, no, that's impossible because I found it under the table, huh? So I guess they exited out together, and at some point it's separated. Anyways, trying to make sense of this, but there's what's left. So I did find that. Unfortunately, I could not find that black Sabre. If you guys want to get yourself any of the products you see me use in these videos, my table that's blowing up, I'll definitely have to put wood under the blocks from now on with anything with real power like that. Knox Ballistic gelatin I use, Chronograph target stand, targets I use, way more. Links in the description for all of that. And for things I cannot link to on YouTube, check out my campsite page, which is linked in the description as well. Again, I'll have that one subsonic Winchester test linked in the description if you want to go check that out. Also the review on this ammunition in regards to accuracy and long range shooting, and the review on that Bear Creek Arsenal 300 Black upper. But thanks for stopping by and checking this one out today, guys. I appreciate it, and I hope to catch you on the next one. And if you appreciate my sacrifice, time and money, please hit the like button.